for the band directors, for the students anyway, we definitely get the payoff from the feedback that we get from the festival. You know, for us, we, you know, when you had Oliver Nelson, to hear Oliver Nelson Jr. talk about his dad, I mean, you know, it's an amazing, you're not going to get that experience every day. It's incredible. For you though, is that your payoff? You know, when the festival's all done and over, like your favorite part of the whole experience? I understand it's 6 months, but for you, when you're done the festival, from your eyes, what's the hippest part of the whole project put together? When you walk away from the festival, what does it?
Obviously, when it's done, it's a relief. But you know, you've run festivals. Mostly everyone who's going to listen to this has run a festival. You know, you have a list, you got a huge checklist of stuff that has to happen. This has to happen, that has to happen. A lot of it's unrelated. Buses, electric, positions, where they're going, where they eat, where's the badminton. You can't predict what's going to come at you. So you're kind of in this mode of, okay, you know, it's like one of those Jackie Chan movies where he's fighting like 15 guys in a circle. You don't know which end it's going to come from, you know, so you just do the best you can. So there's a feeling of let's get through it. Okay. And hopefully you put all your pieces in place properly where they're all going to work for you. You know, you have the right people working for you. You have the right, you know, you have the room signed out, all the preparation stuff. So that's like so much on your mind. But the real payoff for me is when you see the light go off with a student. Like if one student, if somebody says, for example, we had Mike Davis, you know, Keith Bianchini, the trombone player, you know, Keith, yeah. Right? Keith was starting to get into it. He was starting to get into it. This is an example of what I'm talking about. And this is, so I can't predict what it's going to be, but when Keith was ready, Mike was ready, Keith was in the right headspace, Mike was there, he was in the right headspace, put them together, changed Keith's life, right? Big time. So Keith is like, I think I'm going to go in education. I like jazz, but I'm not sure. There's some stuff I don't know. And when he was playing on trombone, I mean, I can't speak the trombone. I know enough to know, I don't know what I'm talking about, which is important because I don't want to give him wacky information. So Keith's playing and he's down there in third and fourth position. And I thought, man, this looks like he's making butter, this guy. Like he's way down. And then Mike Davis comes in and Mike's like, and I'm looking at these clips of Carl Fontana playing. It's like he's going through these tunes. Everything's in first and second position. Keith's down there, you know, he said, you know, drop me off a half a pound when you're done, you know. So he's go back. So I go to Mike. I said, Mike, I can't talk about trombone. I don't know what's going on, but I noticed if you lost third, fourth, and fifth position, it probably wouldn't affect your career because I never did go to it. I said, can you meet with Keith for like a half an hour? And he goes, oh yeah, sure. Because you know why? I picked the right guy.
He's the right guy. Yeah.
I picked the right guy in and I picked the right student who was ready for that. Once they get together, I don't have any control over it, but I cast the movie right. So the actors, I don't have to direct a lot or at all. So Keith and Mike go into a room and meanwhile I'm running around doing stuff and I hear, I mean, I don't know what they're doing. And then eventually I see Keith and Mike out, you know, I'm not there when they're finished. And then the next time I see Keith, I noticed, whoa, it's like more fluent. And I was like, whoa. I mean, it was one of those, when you hear one of your students cross a threshold, it's like, boom. So I'm there, whoa, Keith, man, that sounds good. What did you do? And he goes, yeah, Mike was showing me all about like the alternate things. And I'm like, well, great, because I don't even know what you're talking about, but terrific. Great. I don't have to know what you're talking about. I have to put the right person with the right person after I pick the right people. And he was so pumped after that. He went ballistic. I mean, he was grabbing the bass trombone. He wanted to solo on everything. He wanted to write a chart. And he wound up studying with Conrad to get his master's.
Yeah.
He loved it. That day at 9 o'clock, he was a certain person. At 2 o'clock, he was a completely different person. Really. And from that point on, it was different. It was almost like he went into like some type of like, and he came out with some kind of like, he could read your mind or something. But to me, when those little things turn, either when somebody loves it or they realize, oh, it had a good solo, or sometimes this happened to one of the players. And I'm thinking, you know, this guy's going to graduate soon, tenor, the second tenor player. I said, look, do me a favor. Why don't you give him one of your solos? Because you got about 6 of them. He has nothing. So graciously, he picks up a solo that's huge. It's grooving hard. 2 courses that have extended minor blues, which harmonically isn't hard, but it's a long time. And he says, here you go. So I take the part. And say, all right, that's a good one. I give it. I just put it on the 10 or 2's chair. I said, it's a gift from your friend down the end. And he looks and he goes, well, what's this? And he goes, do it, take it. I have plenty, take it. And it was like a loving gesture.
Yeah.
And this fourth player was like, oh wow, thanks. You sure you don't want it? He goes, no, I got plenty, take it. And then later on, I went up to him. I said, you're a good man. You're a good man for that. You don't realize what you did. This guy stood up and he played, and because he felt like supported, he felt loved, and he played. And to me, he blew it louder. I said, this is just F major scale, start on G. I don't need to say G Dorian. They can figure that out. I've already told him. I said, he got up and he was just playing stronger. And I went, man, look at you. Done. He's in. He's running. He's going. So that's what you live for, because now this guy is going to be the new guy when the first center player leaves at the end of the semester. But he had a chance. Now I couldn't predict that. I just realized that you have a lot of solos. And John Rokicki, as the tenor player, goes, well, give him this. He should have it. And it was like a sweet gesture. But for this, it was life changing. Yeah. It was like a lesson with Mike Davis. You don't see that coming. That stuff can happen. Like you almost have to be ready for it. You don't see it coming. It's just you're looking here and it goes like that. You go, oh, you just have to be ready to react right to make it work. This guy is flying. He's flying. I hear him in the room, that chromatic dominant thing that goes down in that solo, F sharp, F, E, E flat, goes back to, F minor. But he's flying on it. And I'm thinking, well, good for you, man. Good. And he's practicing it. And I couldn't speak. I couldn't talk that into place. I couldn't say something that would make that happen. He was ready. He was ready. I saw the situation. I kind of prompted it. I didn't know this guy would be so gracious, which totally colored it. It wasn't like, just take it, I don't want it. It was like, I want you to do good. I want you to have a chance to shine. And now these guys have a relationship. It took off. And it's like almost make you want to cry as a teacher, because you can't buy that stuff. So those are the things that happen. And when you could bring in a guy like Rufus, who's a legend, who's nice, that's what it is. It's that to get their attention, a lot of it is just being nice. I mean, it sounds kind of dumb, but I think
no, man, not one bit.
No, when you're talking about like, what's the thing, is it content or is it like approach? It's all approach. It's all approach. Nobody comes in like, hey, Dan, melodic minor, man, that's why I'm here. Kidding? I hear you. So it's, and it comes from all over if you're ready. It's almost like, if not to get into a thing, and it depends on how you view all this stuff, it's almost like teaching is a great place. Number one, what makes it a great thing for me is it's a way to make a living without screwing somebody. It's not finances where I have to bury somebody for me to rise. There's none of that. So that's kind of cool. The other thing is, if you can catch it, if you get yourself in the right head, it's almost a great place to almost have I don't even know to have a spiritual practice in school, because you're constantly in a position of
I'm moving.
Oh, I've never been, but you're constantly in a position where you can make great things happen if you kind of can catch it, and if you're not in your own way. Where we go? What? Oh, you're taking me in the Mikey's headquarters. Nice.
Yeah, I got like 1%. I just wanted to make sure I could get back on. I didn't want to cut out. Go ahead.
Now, that's all. So, so what we're going to do, we're talking about the festival where I'm getting all over the place, but I'm hoping I've seen more interest develop just from students coming and playing. And I want the band directors to feel safe about it too, because look, there's no big secret. Colleges want to do festivals because it's recruiting. Every college wants high school students to come to the college because the numbers aren't what they used to be. The kids of the baby boomers are gone, that big bubble's down. So you can either try to recruit the students or you can recruit the teachers, or you can try and do both. But if there's this kid who maybe wants to go to school, but the band director feels like this is a safe place to go, maybe they won't send somebody to Rowan. I don't know what the band directors are feeling, but I'm thinking if we can put this feeling out there, then we're going to have people who would always be out there speaking on our behalf. I think you get more out of a band director feeling safe and understanding what the vibe is with us than if I go to the school and play, maybe the kids are cool and they get you and they like you, but once they graduate, they don't remember you. Band director is going to remember for years.
Right.
So, you know, it works in our favor. Some people may not like the way we do it. Some people want to be in the city. So that's really where they should go. Some people don't want to be in the city. Some people grew up around this area. They want to be away. They don't want to be in this area. Other people want to stay in this area because they've been here. You don't know where anyone's coming from, but you can put out something that's kind, that's instructive, and hopefully has a vibe that we're here to help your thing get better. There's a process about it. And if you love it and you stay at it to get better, you'll get better. If you're trying to win and be the best and you're like a young band, that may be unattainable. But if you're trying to learn how to practice or learn how to love practicing, then you're going to win every time and you're going to get better. So it's I mean, that's what I've seen. And the numbers, I know some festivals are I don't know if anybody's having any trouble or not, but we don't have trouble with numbers. I can't fit everybody. And that's okay. But it's I always liked it. Wasn't my philosophy. It was John Thyson's. So I just happened to fall into it and I just happened to like it. So I'm not holding it in place. Nobody in my administration is saying make it competitive. No one's telling me to do anything different. In fact, they all support it because we're the oh man, look at this thing. It looks like I'm bald the way my hair is. Call me Eisenhower. Hey, what about that invasion?
Call me Ishmael.
Right. But what happens is they know it's unique. And they know the numbers are just, when everybody shows up, like when it's not COVID and the weather's nice, it could snow and I could get banged up. I know it's early and you run the risk of all that. Like if I did the festival tomorrow and it was supposed to get snow, it's over. Right. I lose it all. But that's only happened a few times, but that's the risk you take.
Yep.
It's okay. But it's, so it's, I like the feel of it. I like the vibe. All the guys that work it are cool. All the guys are very, they're all on board, and the guests I get fit right into it. I make sure that they're all, Mike Davis. You hang out with Mike Davis, he's imitating Mick Jagger. It's always a loose hang. Rufus, Rufus is always, he sits around and just tells stories. Like, oh, Dexter, man, he was always late. He's very smart, but he was always late for the train. Come on.
Yeah, it's the best.
Take him out to eat and invite guys to come along. And so Thursday night's the meal.
Oh, awesome.
So if you want to come, we usually go someplace and we just hang and we get a big table and, I pick up his bill and we just talks and
awesome.
Stuff is great. So anyway, what else?
Well, man, no, you hit every nail I could possibly throw at you, man. So let me let you roll. But Denny, I can't thank you enough for doing this, man.
Okay. Let me see. I just practicing. We talked about the festival, Jazz Mama. There you go. I knew that would happen. It was just I kind of hit on everything. Like I said, I just divided it. Well, look, you cut it up, make as many things as you want. And if you want to do it again,
can you believe it's been an hour and 20 minutes, 30 minutes, hour and a half almost?
Okay.
Unbelievable.
Well, give yourself a couple cuts, and there's other, we can get into specifics if you want, but everybody's getting kicked around. I know that the band guys are calling me. Even you were telling me, you're like, it's like swimming upstream or salmon swimming upstream, or more like running into the door frame.
Right. But cool. This is going to help, man. This is great. Thank you so much, man.
Good. Anytime.
Appreciate
There's more where this came from. All right, man.
Stay, bud.
Stay with Jen. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.